inside this you visit to my shop and say, hey, you are selling the computer as well, how come the computer is here, right? It's mismatching, right? You cannot sell computer inside a furniture shop. All the category, all the things what a customer sees there, it has to belong to furniture category, right? So that's what defines the encapsulation here. Whatever the class you write, once you see the example, I'll just explain you with the reference of that. So whatever class you write, it belongs to some category, and the object that will belong to that category, right? So chair, table, and all these things are nothing but the objects, and it belongs to the furniture. The second thing, third, object oriented programming concept is inheritance. It's like inheriting the property of your grandfather or your grandfather and all these things. What do? They have wealth, right? It's bad to say that, but later on he dies, and it becomes like the property you inherit. It's something like that only. The Java, what is that is, it's called the reusability. Just imagine that I am working in a project where frequently I need to do the addition of two numbers, right? And what I will do is that I will write on a public int add, and whatever the numbers, if I get it, int x comma int y, and here I'll simply return x plus y. And what does this method do? This method does is, it takes two parameter x and y, it adds it and returns the value. Now I am writing a program here. Suppose I am writing something to add two numbers to add two currency, or add two numbers to do some calculation. So some other person also wants to add two numbers. Do you think they should write again the same kind of code to add the numbers? No, we should make it common, or we should inherit that method to my class so that I can use the same functionality. So the inheritance solves two problems. One is it reusability it provides, that you don't have to write the same code again and again. And the second thing is that you have to write less code, so less burden, right? So this is what exactly happens through inheritance. And the last point is, it's a little bit difficult to understand, I would say, polymorphism, because until and unless I'll give the example for it, it will be difficult to understand. So I'll just briefly I'll tell you about it, and once I'll give the example, then only I think it will be worth to explain this polymorphism. Otherwise it will be wasting my energy. So polymorphism is something like, it will have the same name, but it can have a different functionality. So it's like what would I say, uh, camouflage kind of, I'm looking like something but I am something else, something like that. It Java provides some functionality, and once I give the example of it, I think then it will be easy for you guys to understand that. So I'm just skipping this right now. Once we'll come to that point, I'll explain you the polymorphism in that context, so it will be easy. Any questions so far? You can speak up, no problem. No need to write in messages, so it will be difficult for me to read.
No.
Is it clear, right? OOP concepts till now, whatever I explained?
Yes.
Okay, fine. So what I will do is, so the thing is, whatever program I'm going to write, for every program, I will start with a syntax class, okay? And that class will define what is the entity or what is that category I'm talking about. So I'll take one, a sample program, like a calculator, where I'll do the addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and all these things. And uh, my calculator will have these four functionalities, and these four functionalities will have the methods like addition, subtraction, and all these things, and we will be calling those methods using the objects. So we'll see how I'll just write a program, and then I'll explain you where exactly the abstraction is lying, where exactly the encapsulation is, and then later I will go for this inheritance as well. Okay, so let's get going. What I'll do is, I'll create new Java project. Did everyone install the Eclipse? Do not tell no, I didn't install. Everybody installed yesterday. I had given the session, so everybody tried installing the Eclipse.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. So anybody face any problem? You are able to install it, run the application, run the program, right?
Yeah.
Amika, did you install it?
Yes. Yes.
No, do install it, because why I'm telling you, once we get going right, it will be difficult to catch things up, because the more we proceed towards the courses, it will be, big complex and lengthy. And then if in mid time, if you start installing and doing things, you will think like, okay, now it's way ahead and where to start from. So I strongly suggest that, okay, the same day what I am covering, it's better to cover those topics. I will be sending the code right after the session, or maybe in a half an hour, 2 hours. I'll send those code, but do install the software, do practice it. Otherwise, it will be, I'm telling you, it will be totally useless. Totally, because Java is something like, if you do not practice and not go ahead with proper planning and practice, it will not be worth. So please do that. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just making it like a day 3 project, and here what I will do is I'll create a class calculator. And so the calculator, if I say it, by default Eclipse writes this public, this class calculator, and this parenthesis. So this is what exactly the boundary of that class. You cannot write anything outside this parenthesis and this boundary. Everything has to be within this class, and that will define your entity or the category. Now if I say, okay, calculator, the calculator, I think, yeah, if I say calculator about this, okay, vehicle, it will be good that if I explain with some other thing. Okay, better I'll do with vehicle. Okay. So I've created a class as a vehicle, and I think a class. What are the properties you think a class can have? If I say about vehicles, you think it's a motor vehicle, right? And you think, okay, it should have some number of wheels. I mean, either 2 or 4, right? So the first thing which comes into my mind is number of wheels. So what I'm defining here, I'm defining within a class that, okay, if it's a class of vehicle, I'm damn sure that it must have some number of wheels. Before I explain you the concept, I generally am very strict regarding this, writing the names and conventions. So whenever you write the name of a variable, please follow the camel case. A camel case means it should start with small letter, and then every word should have a capital. And for class name, always starts with capital. It should always, every word should start with a capital name. It denotes that you are a good programmer. It says that you are a good programmer. So follow the method name and variable name as a camel case, like it should start with small and goes on capital, and all the class names should be in capital. Okay, so follow this practice, it's good. And so number of wheels is a property, I would say. And then what I think of is color. So color of vehicle, right? So the color of vehicle could be red, blue, black, and all these things. So the data type, what I am telling is it's a string, right? The third thing what I come across is something like price. Okay, so price is also what I'm putting, is the type of price is integer. So that means the price is nothing but the integer, because I don't think a car's value is something in decimal. I don't think so. So I put it as a int. If you think that, okay, a car's price could be like uh, 10 point something billion or something like that, you are free to use double. So I think number of wheels cannot be in decimal, so I am strictly putting this int. And if you have remember yesterday, I will change it to byte, because I know that uh, a vehicle cannot have more than 4 or 6 or maximum 10 wheels, right? So I'm making it a byte because it will consume less space, and I know that number of wheels could be 2, 4, or something. And the string color, string means it can hold more than one character. So the string color I'm putting because it could be red, blue, black, and all these things. So what are these things? If I say these are the attributes of vehicle, this is what a vehicle is defined by, right? If I say this is a vehicle, how do you say that? You see the shape, you see the number of vehicles, you see color, and what are the properties it can hold? It should have some price, it should have a model number, no model number, year, and all these things, right? So these are the attributes or the properties of a class, what you are going to define it, or the category or entity. So that's why I told, okay, the vehicle is some class which has these properties, as number of vehicles, color, and price, and all these things. So whenever I say, okay, give me the vehicle, you should have these three attributes associated with that. Now comes the encapsulation. So encapsulation is nothing but encapsulating these attributes inside a class. So as you can see, these three things I'm writing inside a class, and the class name is vehicle. So I'm putting these three things inside a class. Now the main thing what I'm going to do is here is, as I told you, I think all of you might be knowing that a Java program starts with a main method. So I will be writing this public static void main, which is the entry point of my application, and this is nothing but a function. Now uh, these are the variables, right? What are the, I'm writing, defining these things. This number of wheels is a variable, it can hold 3 4 5. This is string color, this color is a variable, price is a variable. So this is called the member variables. So I'll just name it as, these are called the member variables. So these variables belongs to this one, that's why we call it as a member variables, which belongs to a class. Now a class can have different methods also. So I'll something like, I'll write it like, okay, public void display car info, and I will show the cars details, something like you can pass the vehicle object. I'll just tell you, just bear with me, vehicle, and I think string, the most important thing, or which company it is. I'll just simply write, okay, which company. Okay, so vehicle, like company. So what is the company? So vehicle dot put company, then I will write after that number of wheels it has, number of wheels, and then color, and then comes the price. Okay, so yeah, good. I'm printing these details, which company and all these things. Now what exactly I'm doing it here is, this is called the member methods or member functions. I will not write functions because in Java it's a function is named as a method, so I will be using this word only for functions. So this method is for displaying the car info, okay? And whenever we call this method, I will be passing the object. The object is nothing but the vehicle what we are creating, the object, that's what we will be passing back to this one, and it will display the value of this. Now the question comes here is, what we will do is that now I have a vehicle category, and you know that there are many companies like Audi or Mercedes Benz, Jaguar. These company, all all these brands or companies, right? They provide their cars. They might have just assume that they build six wheels car also, or four-wheeler car also, or two-wheeler also. uh, uh, a string, the color could be blue, black, and all these things, and price might differ. So these attributes varies from car to car. So whenever we say, okay, give me a car, so you need to define that, okay, which company, right, which brand or which company, what are the number of wheels, it should be two-wheeler or four-wheeler, what is the color, and then they will tell you the price, or maybe it will tell the, okay, this is the price, right? Can you hear me? Hello?
Your voice is breaking.
Yeah, I think there's some problem with audio. I'm seeing a notification like your audio connection has been lost. uh, is it still breaking?
Now you can hear.
Okay, maybe some network is fluctuating or some issue is there. Okay. Is it okay right now? Is it okay right now? Hello? Okay, I think it's been restored now. No, some network issue is going on. Okay, what I was telling is that if you say, okay, you have a vehicle, and you simply say, hey, I got a vehicle, right? The immediate question followed up will be that what car, right? What car you bought? Okay, maybe they will not ask you the number of wheels. That could be, just infer. You can find out the color, the price, the brand, and all these things. You will definitely ask that. Okay, these are the attributes, and these are the properties which you need to define it. So what I'm going to do is that if you say, okay, it's a manufacturing unit where you manufacture the vehicle, so I will say, okay, no, I'm building a Mercedes car, and this is a new operator what we use it for building a new car. So just think about creating a new object. You use a new keyword and you say, okay, vehicle. So once you say this line, right, this line does a lot many things. What it does is it says, okay, hey, whatever this is the object name, this is the variable, I would say. The variable type is vehicle. Just like the type of company is a string, that it can hold a string. Same thing, it's a Mercedes is a type of vehicle, and definitely it is. And the new vehicle, once we do it, what exactly happens inside is this is what happens. So once you execute this statement, it creates a chunk of memory in your machine. JVM does this, and it creates some some number, some random number, suppose x100, this memory reference. And then it says, okay, here the company will go, whatever the company you are writing. I'll just make it like this section. Here company will go, here number of wheels will go, here the color will go, and here the price will stored. Now, right now, this statement what I have written is does this thing. It does, okay, it allocates a memory, and the value, there is no value here, there's nothing here, these four fields are blank, and you're simply telling, okay, compute company, and these things you have just defined it. Till now you haven't put the values inside these fields. Okay, so right now, and now tell me why these four fields I'm talking about. Because the vehicle what you're creating, right, this Mercedes, and the name of this variable will be nothing but the Mercedes. So this X100 is a reference referred by Java, and this Mercedes will refer to this X100, and this X100 is a memory location which is holding this information. So it's something like you are doing that your Mercedes object is referring to a memory location in your Java as X100, and X100 has a chunk of memory divided in the 4 section. Why 4 section? Because 1, 2, 3 and 4, these 4 sections are the type of vehicle. So whenever we do new vehicle, so all these 4 attributes has to be there, and that's how we define the values in that. Okay, so how to put the values in this? So the steps to do sorry okay, so now I have created a Mercedes. I need to define the attribute. So this is how we do that. So Mercedes, what we created, Mercedes dot, if I say Mercedes dot company, so obviously I know it's a, I given the name, so I'll say okay, Mercedes, some model 2015 or something like that. So I given a name as Mercedes 2015. Then uh, then I'll say okay, Mercedes dot color, and I'll say I'll prefer black color because I like this color. Okay, so black color, maybe spelling is wrong. Okay, so black color. Then I'll say okay, Mercedes dot, obviously number of wheels is definitely going to be 4. Then I'll say okay, Mercedes dot price. So you'll say price is, I don't know how much that will be, 5,000 rupees, and I don't care. Okay, so you have defined these. Oh man, just let me restart my router. Just hold on for a second. I think there's some problem going on. Just 2 minutes. Yeah, okay. I think connection has been restored. It's raining here, so maybe because of that, net is fluctuating today. Uh, Sorry for the interruptions. Okay, I hope everybody can listen to me. Can you hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
There's some it's raining here. I don't know, maybe because of that it's fluctuating. Anyway, yeah. So once you define these properties, the boxes what I was I drawn. So that boxes with the 4 values. Now this has been filled with that model name and the color black and the number of wheels 4 and the prices and all these things, right? And the name of this variable is Mercedes. So now again I can create one more car, right? Suppose I can create a Jaguar, and it will have their own values and colors and price and model and other things, right? So what are these things? If you say Jaguar, if you say Mercedes, if I create Audi car or something, right? So what I'm talking about, these things, these are the objects, and these objects is nothing but a type of vehicles, right? Agreed? So once we write like this in context on a paper, what do we say? Okay, okay, this belongs to car, vehicle, this belongs to also vehicle, this also belong to vehicle, and they will have their own properties, own values. And now I'll come about this is what a properties of a class. Now what are the functions of a car? A car can run, you know a car can, you can apply brake on that. A car can play a music for you. These are the functions of that particular object. So that's what what we can do it here is, this is just for displaying the info. A car's functionality could be something like public void uh, blow horn, right? It can blow horn. You can write like this, blowing horn. And it can have also something like play music. You will say, okay, playing music. So these properties, these functions, features, I would say, rather, what you call in a car, what are the features it has. So these are the features a car possesses, right? So now suppose I have created one car, I'll create one more, and I'll make it a name as Audi, and it will be something like Audi RX 2015, and let it be white color. It let it be a little bit costlier. Okay, so now I have two objects, Audi and Mercedes. It's not necessary that you need to put, if you're putting the vehicle, you need to put Mercedes only. You can put X here also, and it's not going to harm you. So but the variable name should be meaningful. What I generally prefer, that if you say Mercedes, it should be defining the Mercedes, it would be more meaningful. So now you have two Mercedes and Audi. I want to a blow horn using the Mercedes car. So I can simply say, okay, Mercedes dot, I'll say, okay, blow horn. What will do? It will blow horn, right? So let's run this. It is saying blowing horn, right? So what it did is that I got a car, now I'm blowing horn, and it is exactly doing what it is calling. My this method, this function, it is calling this function blow horn, because this function is wrapped inside my class, which is called the vehicle. So this is a part of that particular class. So Mercedes dot blow horn I'll do, and then same thing I can apply to Audi also, and this will also have the same functionality. So it should print two times that blowing horn, right? So and if you want to print the details of a car, like, okay, I want to print what is the details of Mercedes, so I'll simply call this display car info. Now how do we do that is, I will call this Mercedes dot display car info, and I'll pass my Mercedes object. So what it will do is, it will display company Audi. uh, why it is showing Audi? I passed Mercedes. Okay, Mercedes has 5,000, right? So why exactly it is happening here? Okay, let me check. So vehicle, I am passing it here, passing the Mercedes here, Mercedes Audi. So okay, Mercedes dot display car, Mercedes. DRX number of wheel. Okay, let me check why it is happening. So okay, maybe I did just a little bit of, better remove this, and instead of vehicle I'll simply say this I'll explain you what exactly I'm doing. I just a little bit mistake I did. Okay, it was supposed to be like this only. So Mercedes dot display car info, and I think now it should display the correct one. Why it is happening so? Oh, sorry. This Audi, right? I should have put this Audi dot company, Audi dot color, Audi dot number of wheels, Audi dot price, Audi dot, yeah. So that's why it was happening the problem. Okay, now it should be correct. So company is Mercedes, right? So what exactly I am doing it here? The display car info, as you can see here, the method, right? I have written the display car info and I'm calling it on behalf of Mercedes. And same thing if I call, just pay attention here, if Audi dot display car info I'm doing, it will I'll just comment out this one. This is no longer is useless. So I'm calling the Mercedes dot display car info and I'm doing Audi dot display car info. So just think about here, I'm calling the same method display car info, but I'm using the different objects. So this Mercedes and Audi both are the object, and as you can see I have set the values for Mercedes as these things, right? So it should display these details if I call with the help of Mercedes, and if you call with the help of Audi it should display the Audi details. So just let me try and run. Yeah, so this is printing a Mercedes and this is printing the Audi, right? Just because I am providing the references which are like Audi and Mercedes. Any confusion here?
No.
Is it fine? Okay, okay, fine. So we are calling this Mercedes and Audi this display car info with the object, and this object, what exactly this keyword this is, this actually signifies is the object from which you are calling this method. So what exactly the method I am calling? Display car info, right? So display car info has been called with what object? I have called with Mercedes object, right? So here that this means nothing but this Mercedes object. So if I just think about Mercedes dot company, I have set it like this, and I'm telling you that okay, once you call this display car info, that this word, this keyword, points to my Mercedes, whatever the object I called on. So just assume that this is nothing but, it's you cannot write like that, it will not work, but this is nothing but that only. So I'm just writing it so that it will be easy. So it's nothing like Mercedes dot company, but this will not work here. So you are supposed to use this keyword here. So this signifies nothing but whoever is calling this method on that object. So I am calling this display car info on Mercedes object. So this will signify to Mercedes, and Mercedes dot company, what I had set is this one. So obviously this will print this value, this will print this value. And the second time if I call Audi dot display car info, so this display car info was called by Audi, so this now this will take the place of Audi. So it will be like Audi dot company, and the Audi dot company is nothing but the Audi RX 2015, and that's how it goes on and it prints the value. This is what how you call the objects, methods using the objects, and this is what the real OOP concept, what you are seeing it here. Okay, yeah. So this is what all about OOP concept, basic all OOP concept, and the encapsulations covers in that only. So you need to, what are the rules you need to follow is, whenever you write a program like vehicle.java, whatever your file name is, you must have a public class with that name. If I remove this public, my program will never compile and it will create an error. It will say that okay, you should have a public class. By default, generally there are different access specifiers that I'll cover it later. So you should have a public class name with that, and also the name of the file, whatever is there, there must be a class name with that. If I change it to something, suppose car, this will definitely prompt me an error that okay, your file name is vehicle and you're putting is a car. Okay, that is not going to happen. So make sure you do all this stuff, and your the syntax and all these things are correct for the basic building blocks. So this is creating the objects and all. The today's topic, I'll cover this access specifier, which is very important in going ahead. So let me uh, access modifiers are something like giving the visibility. Tomorrow you join a company and you go to that company. Do you think that being an employee, your CEO of your company, or uh, uh, vice president of your company is going to share everything with you? It's never going to be happen, right? They will share only those things what is related to you, and what are the things they know that your rights, or you are eligible to, or your eligibility matters there, right? Maybe a manager can talk to a VP and they can get the news from VP, or can talk to a VP for their informations and all. But being an employee, I don't think you can talk to a CEO or CEO to get their management information, or the idea what they are running the company, or you can suggest something. I mean, apart from something you can do that, but ideally it doesn't happen. I mean, you don't have authority to change something. So Java, as I told you, Java solves a real-time problem, right? So suppose you need to convert a department, or some kind of organization, where you want your some fields to be restricted to some people only, or within a class only, and you don't want other to use it. So Java has provided the access specifiers for that. So those variables, those methods, you can restrict to it to a certain level. So members, if I talk about variables and if I talk about methods, so these are called the variables. Just keep in mind that these are the variables I'm talking about. These are the methods. So these variables can be of different types. What are the types? It could be private, okay, it could be protected, sorry, okay, it could be protected, it could be public, and it could be nothing. So it's good that we have four. There are four types of access specifier in Java, and those are private, protected, public, and there is nothing I've applied. So it's nothing here. Yeah, it's blank. So this is called the default. So private, protected, and public are the four types of access specifier, and how it is going to use it, it will be understandable if only I cover the inheritance portion. So I'll just go ahead with the inheritance, and I'll explain you these four uh, access specifier. Same thing you can apply for a method also. You can say a method as a private, you can say a method as a public, you can say a method as a protected, and you cannot put anything at all. That also will work. So there are four types, right? These access specifiers are. And now suppose I'll do one thing. I'll just change this name to car, and this car is my class, and I want to have a car's features is like something like mm, project code name or something like that. I think every car new model has their code name, and they do not share it with, so that it does not get leaked. I think you might have heard about Windows code name was something, I don't remember. I mean, there was like Windows 10 and 9.8, they put some code name, right? And that is a secret. we'll make this as a secret. So what is going to be, I'll make it as a private. I'll tell you what exactly does this do. I'll make this as a private, and other things I'll make it as a public, and public will be string, something like model. And again I'll say okay, public void so blowing horn. And here okay, what are the things you are seeing here? You are seeing that you have two variables. The class is car, and it has a project name, and it has a model, right? And it can blow horn. That is the one functionality. And second thing is that I can see the project code name. And see here, the difference is here I made this as a private, and I made this as a public. That means I can I can use this variable outside my class. So before I'll tell you what it's good that you understand first inheritance. So inheritance is what? It's inheriting the property. So car, if I say about I have a car, that doesn't mean anything. I have to tell what type of car I have, right? Then only you understand what exactly of car I own. So to get the a type of car is something like I'll do something class Mercedes extends car. Now what exactly I'm doing here is I'm telling okay, now I'm going to build my cars class, which will have some property inheriting from my class. So obviously Mercedes, if Mercedes is a class, it can definitely blow horn, and it definitely will have some code project name. But being an organization CEO or something, I don't want to display, I don't want to let the Mercedes guys to see my project name. I want to restrict it with my class car only. I don't want to anybody to see it, but they can use my functionality like blow horn and public void play music, playing music. Okay, this is also a public field, right? And also you can display model. So void display model is model. So I have these blow horns, play music, display model, and display project. I want to restrict this one. So see how if you see this what exactly this does is class Mercedes extends car. This line means now class Mercedes owning everything a car has. Now car has what? Car has project name, model, and it has these functionality it has. But if I say okay private, that means this Mercedes cannot access this project name, it cannot access this function. Let me show you here. What I will do is I'll write a main method here, and if I say okay Mercedes Mercedes 1, that is the first car I'm creating, new Mercedes. Okay, so I have created a Mercedes car with new Mercedes, and I'm calling this m1 dot get model. So this model I can set it because I have the visibility to set as a model as 2015. Oh, I think I have put it as a string. Okay, so it's a 2015 model. I can set it, and now if I say okay m1 dot display model, it will, you will see that I am able to show the what is happening here. Okay, the car name is here. Sorry. Oh, as I told you, the main method, right, which is holding that the name of the file should be that only. So I need to have change this one to finish. To make this as a public. Okay. Okay, better I'll do one thing. I don't know why this maybe. So what I will do is I'll create this class outside this file. So I'll create new class. One second, let me rename this with car, as this is a car class. Make it it's a public. Okay, so this. Okay, and we'll create new class as a Mercedes, and we'll put this code here now. So it's a similar nothing, but we have a car class which has this project name, model, and these methods are there, and this private method is there. And the Mercedes, what exactly is telling that okay, car public class Mercedes extending the car. That means this extends keyword is telling that okay, I'm inheriting the property of this class, this particular class I'm inheriting. So the public static void main I'm creating, and the project this Mercedes m1 I'm creating, and m1 dot model I'm able to set it. But if you see m1 dot, if I'm putting, I'm not able to see the project name here. See, there are two fields here, right? The string project code name and string model. And here, if I put it m dot, I'm able to see the model, but as you can see here, you will not find the project code name because I have made it as a a private. I don't want to let anybody to change that code for me. And I can call this blowhorn, I can call this play music, I can call this display model. Again, display project name will not be visible to me. So as you can see here, m1 dot display model I can do, m1 dot you know play music I can do, m1 dot blue horn I can do. But m1 dot, if I say okay, show me this project code name, and they made it private, so I cannot use it here. So now you might be wondering what is the use of, then why just we cannot just simply remove it and get it over with that. What is the use is you can call this method inside this class only. So the visibility of this particular method is somewhat within this class only. You cannot call from your outside object. So if you, do something like, main method, you write it here, and here you can, create a car c equals to new car, and c dot, you can see here project name and model both are coming. So you can put something code name, and you can call this project name display, this one. And it will if you run this, see, the code name is simply saying that code name, or some XYZ, or XYB, something is a code name. And you can see that it is printing code name as XYB here, right? So this is the usage, like you cannot use outside this class if you make it a private, but if you make it, public, that will be accessible outside the class. So all the methods which has been defined as a public, you can use it, and you have put it as a private, you cannot use it. Rest, there are two other things I will not tell you right now. The left is protected and the default one. Once I'll cover about this Java packages, then only it will be useful to tell about that. So I'm not going to cover this. Okay. So it's very late for me right now today, because we started late today. And also I would like to tell one thing. Is it possible that I can start at 10 p.m. IST? It's Indian Standard Time, 10 p.m. So is it everyone is okay with that? Because for me it's becoming a little bit late at, I start at 10:30, and by 1 hour it becomes 10, 11, 40, 45. Is pretty late for me. So is it okay? I need everybody's answer about this at least.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
Definitely.
Yes.
10 p.m. IST. I'm writing down. So make sure it's, don't wait for your timing. Just convert it according to your whatever the timing comes to you. But make sure that, we'll start with this. Generally, I do not take sessions on weekdays. Sorry, weekends. So maybe Saturday, definitely not. I will be taking Sunday. I'll see. Depends on how things are going. Because what I'm feeling like I have to explain every bit of it. If you haven't worked in Java, so because later the concept will keep on becoming a little bit complex, what we are saying. So till now we are covering just the basics. So in next session, I will be covering the packages, what are the Java packages are there, then the polymorphism, as I told you, and then I will proceed with the strings, because that also a little bit vast, this one, and then collections and multi-threading and all. So please install Eclipse, and please practice these programs. I'll send a mail to Pratik. You can ping me your email ID. I don't have your email ID. I'll
Okay.
send the program, or also I think you might not have seen. I'll push this code GitHub. You can just go there. I'll just copy these codes if anybody wants that. GitHub. Yeah, so this is the link where I will let me just create one repository here. Yes, Java sessions. Okay, so this will be the hyperlink for you guys. You can always check this link. I will be putting here only on this link. Just let me quickly do this for you. Just 1 minute. I'll just show you one thing. Okay. Yeah. So I have pushed the code as now you can, if you refresh it, can you see the screen? Can you able to see the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the link I'm sending you to again. It's the same link. Here you will get the day-wise code what I'm covering today. So right now, just now I pushed it. Day three. If you go here, you will see this SRC and this car, Mercedes, and vehicle code and all these things, right? So day-wise, I will keep on. You can see Hibernate, yeah, Hibernate session code, and you can just go that link, and this is how you will get the download option. Okay, you can either directly download as a zip file, or if you want to see the code, you can directly navigate to those pages. You click on this, you will get all these codes. Maybe these things are very minor code right now, but slowly it will become something like big uh, big repositories. As you can see here, I have pushed many codes, and it's a very vast, and there you need to go through all big these many codes will be there inside and all. So later it will be easy for you guys to just simply download it and run it in your system. Keep following this link, okay, and you can get the code whatever you are covering day wise. Okay, fine. So tomorrow at 10 p.m. IST will start right there. Okay. See you then. Bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Okay, bye.